Hello and welcome to my alternative channel, Anti-War. And today on Anti-War, looking at Paulaner pills. Don't know when it was introduced, but it's produced by Paulaner, established in 1634 in Germany, Munich, Germany. Back in the days of the First Reich, the Holy Roman Empire, the Heiliges Römische Reich. All right. They sent me this t-shirt once. About 5 years ago, they were sending out beers to different beer reviewers. And hello, Hector. And they asked, would I like a shirt? Yes. And they sent me a mug. Ceramic mug, 500 years of their German Reinheitsgebot, 1516 to 2016. So, but then they stopped doing the promotional. I guess they figured they sent enough beer out to enough beer reviewers. And then that was right when the scamdemic started too. Was around when they stopped. All right, but I did appreciate it. So I'll pour it in this glass. This is a Belgian glass. It's not exactly. This glass really made for a Belgian ale, but it'll be all right. It's bubbly, golden. You can see that. Golden, yellow, fizzy stuff. Tastes really good. I'm going to put the rest in the fridge so it'll stay cold. Now, if I turn around, you'll see the shirt on the back. It's nice, huh? Tommy Carroll. Cheers, Louisiana. Louisiana beer reviews right now. Hope you're having a good day. I am. I cut the grass. It was hot. It's like 91 right now. It might be warmer than that. It might be hotter than that. Let's see. No, it says 90. It was 91 a little while ago. Sun is out, but I was sweating, boy. Woo. But I got it done. 20th time this year I cut the grass. 20th time. All right, so let's do a screen share. I'm going to show you the difference between the German website and the American website. So if you get on the German website, the home field, they show Weissbier. You get the natural 0% alcohol, if that's what you want to deal with, not me. Alcohol-free Hefeweizen. So that's citrus, a lemon beer. No alcohol lemon beer. The Hefeweizen Dunkel. I've not seen that in the United States. Crystal Klar. This one is crystal clear. Crystal Klar, crystal clear. So this is without the gunk in it. And then there's the light, 3.4% alcohol light. So you get an array of wheat beers, beer, because that's what they're famous for. But they also make hell beer, bright beers. Hell means bright in German, not from hell. Münchner Hell, which you sometimes find in the United States, alcohol free. Type hell. Don't know what Ertyp means. Let's check it out. The gold standard of Paulaner assortment. Water, malt, and hops. Hercules, Harleton, Pilsner malt, Münchner malt, and all right. So doesn't give the alcohol. How about? Oh well, no use looking at it because we can't get it. But then you got special Litaten, special beers, Oktoberfest beer. We do get that one, and Salvatore with that one. if you're lucky to find it these days. Doppelbock, that's a really strong beer. Beer Mishkit. This is like meaning like flavor beers. Alcohol, a natural beer and lemonade mixture, 0% citrus beer, and the citrus beer. And then they got alcohol-free beer. I'm not even going to bother that. And then Paulaner Special beers. Speci. This is sort of like their flavored malt beverage type of thing. Orange. Retro design. Yeah, so yeah, they're all doing those flavored malt beverage. You know what I'm talking about, like a Mike's Hard or Mike's Hard Limo Orange. But let's go over to the United States website. Weizen, the Münchner Lager, Oktoberfest Marzen, which they don't sell in Germany, if you notice. That's the brown beer, not sold in Germany. Oktoberfest beer, which we now get. What's that, 6%, like a malt liquor, but with no corn or rice. Salvatore, like a double bock, doppelbock, extra strong. 0% grapefruit radler, we do get that. And here's the pills. Now it looks like fruit radler in the pills is only sold in can. Now that's it. That's it. That's their whole lineup for the USA. Much less, right? Canned only, in the 500 milliliter can. Ingredients: water, malted barley, and hops. Hop varieties: High Power, Tradition, Hercules. Malt varieties: light malt, barley malt, light malted barley, Pilsner malt. So it's light. That's why the beer is light. Nutritional facts: 160 calories. 4.8% alcohol. Just a regular beer strength. They don't give the bitterness unit, so I'm going to try to detect that. Now I'm going to give the review. Okay, Hector says, sorry, teacher, Louisiana Beer Review, says Tommy. Hector, Ronald, I did a new review, Busch Light. My last Busch beer I had a year old, out of date. Oh, yeah, you don't want to mess with that. My new review is a fresh can and a good date. Yeah, you could delete the old video. How come to learn these German beer companies put out a great product? Yes, they do. Correction, I have come to learn. You know, you can. I think you can edit your comments. Well, maybe not. This is a very nice website for Paulaner pills, says Hector. Some beers don't have no information on their websites. That's right. They don't even bother with it. But this one has a lot of good information. They're very detailed. Now, let me go get the rest of the beer. Now, I'll go put this mug back in the kitchen. Ceramic. I went to Aldi today. Oh, this one beat the Wernesgrüner from Aldi. Now, I went to Aldi today to buy some sausage. I bought some cheddar bratwurst. I bought some milk and a bag of spinach, raw spinach that I make a salad with. But I noticed none of their self-checkout machines were working, so I had to get in line, which went fast. But I said, what's up with your self-checkout machines? She said, oh, they turned them off. I didn't understand what that meant. They turned them off. I didn't ask. I thought maybe they weren't working right. And then she said they're not going to use them anymore. So I never said another word. I'm just thinking people must have been stealing. And then somebody else commented that they stopped doing self-checkout at this, all because of theft. People steal. I know Winn-Dixie used to have self-checkout here. Winn-Dixie, which is 2 stores from Aldi. They have Winn-Dixie, a hospital who sewed up my leg. Did a good job on my I'm not gonna show a wound, but it's just a little scab now. They did a good job on the 30 stitches, and then this. So you got Aldi, the hospital, and Winn-Dixie, west, east, and further east. And Winn-Dixie used to have self checkout, but they got rid of it. I think the machines didn't really work that well, but I usually was able to get through pretty well. But I think people were stealing. It looked like Walmart has kind of put a tighter clamp on the self checkout. Now, Mathern's never had self checkout ever. You got to go to the register and let the girl ring you up, or the boy. Same thing with Cash Saver here. No self checkout. You want to buy something? Check out at the register. Now that story would all be. Okay, so now the review. The beer is clear, golden, fizzy. It's a beautiful yellow fizzy stuff. The smell, the aroma is a little pungent, malted barley, cereal grain, but it's very light, very light. Taste, cheers. I hope that Aldi stays in business. It's not even been 2 years since it opened, October 2022. They got the best price for milk, the best price for bread, and a lot of times the best price for sausage, things like that. Definitely the best price for corned beef. Nobody can touch them on their corned beef. And they wonder why some places become food deserts. Right. These people will complain like, we don't get no good stores around my neighborhood. We used to, and it's like, yeah, but your neighborhood, they thought that they could steal all the merchandise, and then they can't understand why there's no grocery stores and no department stores and only a few convenience stores that watch every move you make because they know what you know what I mean? Like, of course they're going to be paranoid in your neighborhood. And then you're complaining, why we can't get good stores around here? Well, there might be a reason for that. All right. Well, there is a reason for that. And if you would open your mind, you'd realize why. Okay, now the bitterness is here. It's noticeable, but it's certainly not strong in any way. It's mild, mellow bitterness. It's herbal. It's more herbal than bitter. Like there's, a hop is an herb. So it's like a herbal bitterness, and it's mild. I don't think it's even 30. They don't give it on the website. I'm going to guess like 25 bitterness units, but I really don't know. I'm just guessing. 3 out of 5 hop cones, if it's that much. Sweetness is low. Two out of 5 sugar cubes. It's a dry beer. I cannot get this in my town. I can get Paulaner, that grapefruit beer, which I got no interest in. I can get Paulaner Oktoberfest from time to time. The Marzen, occasionally the Fest beer, the 6% Fest beer. The Munich Lager, yeah, I can get that here sometimes. But not this Pilsner. I've never seen it here. I bought this at Total Wine and More in Metairie, Louisiana, and I don't live close to Metairie. I used to live there when I was 3 years old. But, you got to drive through a number of towns to get there. You actually got to drive through a swamp to get there. You got to drive through some towns and then a lot of swamp, like woods, swamp, marshland, where there is no town. It's just the wilderness. And then eventually you get to Kenner. Well, once you get to St. Rose, Louisiana, then it's all urban. From St. Rose down to New Orleans, it's all urban. If you stay, it's total city. New Orleans, and then Araby, and then Chalmette, and then What's that town after Chalmette? Some other little town, but then it becomes more rural again. You keep going down the river, then it's like a town. Chalmette is not a city, it's a town. And then a smaller town, which still has stores, restaurants, and everything. And then it become more country. You might see cow pastures and all, and then it become barren to the end of the Mississippi River. You know what I mean? Like definitely out in the hinterland. But there's probably about a 40-mile long all city. As you would imagine, they got a lot bigger selection of beers over there than here, because this is up the river from New Orleans and it's more rural. You see, you might go through a town and then a lot of wilderness, then another town, more cow pastures and woods, and then another town, and same thing. Then you get to Baton Rouge, and then it's 25 miles of city. Not a big city at all. What would Baton Rouge be like if you lived in California? What city in California would be like Baton Rouge? I don't know, like Bakersfield or something like that. Okay, but it's nice, some of it. Like any city, you get some good and some bad. Honolulu was good, and then a lot of it was bad. I couldn't wait to leave out of that place earlier this month. When I got on that plane, I was like, oh man, I'm going to try to sleep on this plane. I can't wait to get out of this hobo heaven. But I walked all over Honolulu, but I was walking everywhere. I like to go to a city and walk everywhere. Now, some of the places I was walking were sketchy, you could call them. In England, they call it dodgy. But I just kept walking. I didn't care. I was on a main street. I wasn't like down some back alley. I wasn't stupid enough to do that. Good to see Mr. Kepley participating again. He's a very knowledgeable man. Yes, I agree. And they kept saying he died. And I kept telling the guys that were telling me that, I kept telling them, I don't believe it, because I just kept telling them, I think y'all are wrong. He just got tired of social media or whatever. But he did, actually. He got angry about some stuff that happened. At first, I did something that aggravated him, and I apologized. And then he kind of got over that. And I didn't mean to upset him, but I did. I was wrong, I was stupid, but I'll admit it. If I do wrong, I'll just admit it. I'm not gonna sit there and try to play games like, oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. But that was, an incident, and then something else happened that he said, I'm finished with these people, these internet people. And I don't blame him, because I know how that is. And then he just disappeared for 3 years. And they were like, he died. I was like, and then he had gotten sick. I mean, he did get very ill, but he recovered, so he got better. And he looks pretty good, we don't know when we're going to take off, you know what I mean? Die. Hopefully later than sooner. But everybody was shocked when he came back. I was shocked, but not as shocked as they were, because I thought, And then plus a year ago, his cousin told me he was riding his motorbike and drinking beers and tasting stuff and just doing his thing, And I was like, I don't see why his cousin would lie to me. And then they were telling me, no, that's not accurate. I said, I don't know. I don't think his cousin would lie about it. I thought he passed away. Some YouTubers are hard to deal with, says Hector. Yeah, real hard. You got blocked? I've been blocked by these people, man. Believe me, Hector, I know. I have dealt with these people. They are unreal. Some of these people are unreal. They are unreal. I could name names. But I'm like you, Hector. I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't play that kind of passive aggressive little wimp chump game. I mean, be a man. Don't be a wimp. Don't be a mouse. But that's how they are. They figure, I'm on the internet. I can block you. I got the power. Yeah, the power for what? because you're content to be a jerk. But that being said, this is a really great beer. Is it like the greatest Pilsner? No. That would be Pilsner Urquell, I think. Pilsner Urquell. But it's certainly one of the great ones. Veltins, Paulaner, Radeberger, Koenig, well, I thought the Yingling was pretty good. At first, I didn't really like it. The Yingling Golden Pilsner, I was like, nah, it's good, but it's not nothing to it, nothing. But then it started tasting better to me. Maybe they improved it, or maybe I warmed up to it or something, Abita used to make Abita Golden, which was green and gold label. Excuse me, a green and gold label. Abita Golden was like one of my favorite beers of the Abita lineup of the Abita line. It was a Pilsner, but they stopped making it. I can't understand why. I guess Pilsner went out of fashion. Pilsner is like what old people drink. You say, I'm not old, I'm young. I'm 25. I'm into the beer scene. I don't drink old people beer like Pilsner and Hefeweizens. I drink hip beers for young people like hazy IPAs that look like milk coagulated in the cereal bowl with the powdered cereal refuse. But that's fine if you want to drink that too, But I think these kind of styles are like old people beer. They'll say, really, like Paulaner, a Pilsner, American malt liquor, American adjunct lager like Pabst Blue Ribbon or Schlitz or Budweiser or a white Hefeweizen beer, or I don't know, any of they're like old people beer. That's how young people see it. That's like old people's beer. Why don't you go listen to the Carpenters and go drive Plymouth? And so that's the attitude toward it. Okay, now let's look at the comments and I'm out of here. Hector said, I thought he passed away too. Yeah. Reminds me of a Stevie Ray Vaughan song called Willie the Wimp and His Cadillac Coffin. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yep. I remember when he died in 1989. I was shocked. What's your topic for next Wednesday, says Hector? Any Oktoberfest beer. I got to shave tomorrow. I could feel any Oktoberfest beer. BC's beer reviews. BC's beer reviews. I'm going to tell y'all right now, whether it's a bottle or a can, the man will review the beer in his yard in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, or close to Detroit at least. Listen to the Eagles and drive a Studebaker, says BC's beer reviews. BC's beer review. Right. So these styles, like Paulaner Pilsner, if you tell a young person about it, they'll be like, no one wants to hear about that old people beer. Or the Eagles. Or Mr. Pibb. But let me say this to you. I drank a Pibb Extra fountain drink yesterday from Rally's. I drank a Pibb Extra yesterday. They don't make Mr. Pibb anymore. They make Pibb Extra, which is sweeter. But I drank the original Mr. Pibb in 1972 from that weird pink-looking steel can. And when it first came out, it was called Peppo. And me and my sister, she's 4 years younger, we used to drink Peppo. But then they were threatened with a lawsuit by Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper told Coke, I hope you're ready to go to court with your Peppo. And Coke was like, no, we're not looking to go to court. Yeah. And then they suddenly changed Peppo to Mr. Pibb. And then that was the end of the lawsuit. And Mr. Pibb, they try to make it taste like Dr. Pepper. But a lot of people were always saying, oh, Mr. Pibb is better than Dr. Pepper. And that was like a big argument back in the late 1970s. People would be like watching Three's Company, and they'd be arguing, Mr. Pibb's better. No, fool, Dr. Pepper's better. And then and later on in the 90s, they came out with Pibb Extra, or it might have been in 2001, and then Mr. Pibb got relegated to the backseat and then expelled from the world. Oh, and if you go to Rallies or Checkers, they only sell Pibb Extra, no Dr. Pepper. And if you go to Louisiana State University football or baseball or basketball, they only sell Pibb Extra, no Dr. Pepper. And back in the 1980s, they always had Mr. Pibb at LSU on fountain drinks. Always did. Okay. Last comments. Louisiana beer reviews. What can we expect from Fandango Friday? I'm bringing the black bourbon from Stillhouse, but I'm going to bring a chilled version. I don't know what other people are going to bring. BC's Beer Review says, you're right, Ron. Jerry Greetings. Hello, Jerry. Says, Don Henley is lip syncing in live concerts now. Many videos about it. Sad. It really is sad. And a lot of people are doing it. Look at Kiss, but don't even talk about Kiss. All right, but they are lip syncing. Laughing out loud, Jerry. All right, so I'm not lip syncing right now. This is real. This is no dream. This is really happening. All right, bye-bye, everybody.